So, welcome everybody. It's really lovely having you here today in this incredibly hot, balmy day. But oh well, some of you are sitting in cold places. So, those of you in London, good luck. Maybe move to another country. I'm very biased. I do love Australia, so that's how it goes. So just wanted to welcome you here. Tonight's just a little intro session about Lifewave patches. And we'll mostly only be covering X39 tonight because it's the flagship product. But yeah, so I'm going to be presenting with Danielle tonight, who is rocking it, and it's really lovely to have you on board. So I'm going to hand you over to Danielle, and she will tell you a little bit about herself and maybe share a bit of her story, and then we'll go into the presentation. And in the middle, I'll tell you my story, and then we'll complete the presentation. Okay? Good. Danielle, all yours.
Thank you. Can you all hear me well enough? I've got a little microphone now, but I'm just leaving it there just to see how it goes.
Gotcha. It's all
So
good.
welcome to you all. And just a bit about myself. I'm Danielle, and I live near Byron Bay. We just say that because it's easier where people know where we are. And I have known Arleen for, what would it be, 8 years or more. Probably
Maybe
even a bit
more.
more. Yeah,
Bit
a
more.
little bit more, maybe 10 years. And we did another modality together. And so it's been really interesting because we've, kept in touch on text messages and stuff over the time. But I've been watching lots of things happen. Arlene has had lots of things happening over the last few years. And so sort of been messaging back and forward. And then, yeah. And then now today, it's like, this is a different person. Every time I talk to her and see her, it's like, I even said to Tristan when I first saw you again, I was like, what? She looks totally different. So it's really beautiful to know that you can have these incredible testimonials in amongst this little group, and that you can come to these whenever you want. You can invite whoever you want. You can come whenever you want. And there's always some gold here. Even if you listen to it 10,000 times like I have, you still get something from it every time because someone else is on here and someone else is sharing something different. And you just grab a little bit of other information. So for me, I personally was really interested in the patches because of perimenopause, and it has been doing my head in and doing everything else in. And I felt like I was absolutely losing myself in amongst all of that for the last couple of years. I've been trying lots of things and diving down rabbit holes of everything. And I, found a few things that were getting on top of quite a bit of it, but it would just hadn't got me there. And so I was really keen to try the patches. And when I found out more and more about them, I was like, this is it. Like, I don't know what it is, but this is it. You can feel that full body yes. So it was totally that for me. So yeah, so since I've been patching, what have I been patching now? 7 weeks. So it has not been very long for me. And I've been noticing from day one, pretty much, I notice my energy levels. That's been a really main thing for me, has been the energy levels. And then as its time has gone on, each week sort of thing, I'll start to go, oh, because I write down each week all the things that have happened for me. And so when I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I just realized that this has changed and this has changed. So there's brain fog has been a massive one for me because I was feeling like I couldn't even talk a sentence and I felt like an absolute idiot in most things that I was doing. Emotionally, I was in tears every 5 minutes. Just, I am not that type of person. I am emotional and will go with what's there. But this was different. This was, why are you crying again? What is happening? So that's all moved. I've actually now feel like myself. I had not realized for the last couple of years that I have not felt like myself until now, that I do feel again. I can feel myself. I can feel my vibrancy. I can feel my excitement for life. And all of that has definitely changed. And I think amazing if that's in 7 weeks for me, because I kind of had in the back of my head that I'll be, patching for 6 months to start to see anything happen. But some people it does, some people it doesn't. Everyone's different and we just go with it. But yeah, for me, that's personally what has happened. And the other side of Lifewave and patching for me, apart from the health, because I've been in the health and well-being industry for 25 years now with all my different things that I have done over the years with healing and mentoring and all the different things. So that has always been something that I've loved, and that is my follow. That's how I follow where I need to go. So this absolutely ticks all the boxes for me in that space as well. And then also coming on to which we'll talk about after we've spoken about the health benefit, or the health, side of it, well-being side of it, is that the business. And so Arleen's going to share a lot about that. And that for me, it has changed my world already. And I can feel in myself, again, that full-blown yes. I want to get out of the 9 to 5. I want to have income streams. I don't want to be stuck in an old world. And to me, this is the new world. This is the new space of where we're going, where we're heading. And yeah, I want to grow a team and become everything with and for each other. So I'm very happy to be on the team with Arleen, and where we're going to go with that, who knows? The sky's the limit, and we're just busting through ceilings to go there. So that feels really incredible. Yeah. And what else do I want to say about that? That's pretty good, I reckon.
Okay, I'm going to start the presentation.
Okay. So have you been patched yet? Some of you on here will have been patched. Some of you will not. Doesn't really matter for this presentation whether you have or you haven't. It would be really nice when asked if you would share anything that you have noticed with the patches, or and we've got question and answers at the end. But to be patched, the things that you're going to notice is that you're going to elevate, activate, and regenerate on all levels. Thank you. And so David Schmidt is our CEO and inventor of X39. The more and more I dive into him, I watch so much about him, and listen to all his talks on YouTube. And the more and more I say, go and listen, because he's just explains things so well, even though he's in the science side of it. He's got over 130 patents. I think it's like 180 or something now.
Over 180 now. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a scientist and inventor from the day he was born, by the sounds of it. He specializes in age reversing, and the important note there is the reversing, because a lot of these things, the hip word is anti-aging, but this is actually age reversing. And he's done so many, what are they called? The
research
and all the different things on there. So yeah, check out all that sort of stuff along the way too. In 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research, which has changed so many people's world now, with X39 being the prime and the one of the patches. There are plenty of others, but today that's what we're focusing on, because it's the bomb. It's the space that you want to be, and it's the first patch that pretty much everyone tries. So the recent patent took him 10 years and $4.5 million to bring to market. So he hasn't taken this lightly. It has been something that is a real passion for him, and he's staying part of the company because he loves it so much. So that is great for us. Yep, thank you. And moving on with the patents and technology, I don't know who knows or about patents or not, but what has to happen to get a patent is you have to prove that it is true. All the things that you're saying about this product, it has to be true. So we've got just here, some embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation in antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvement in stamina, elevation of collagen production, improvement in wound healing. So all of those things have to be proved for him to be able to get this patent. And then to have the patent is also amazing, because it means no, this cannot be made anywhere else. This is the only product that does what it does, because it has a patent on it. So that's even better. Why X39 stem cell activation patch? So as we're getting older, as we probably all know here, things start to go a bit AWOL and start to go downhill. So the fewer stem cells we have, the faster you age and the slower you actually heal, because our stem cells are what are giving us our youth and what giving us all of our healing. So there's hundreds of millions of people experiencing symptoms of aging, and especially at the moment with the baby boomers, it is astronomical the amount of people that are in a really over 60 at the moment. So just saying here, the age, half of your stem cells are actually only are deactivated by the time you're 30. So that blew my mind. I actually had not known about this. And when I heard this, it's like, what? Like, I'm like nearly 50. Where am I at? And then I realized, at 60, you've almost lost 95% or something of your stem cells have deactivated. So therefore, this is why this patch is so incredible, because it activates, through using your copper peptides, with using light in your own body, this form of phototherapy, nanocrystal technology, it reflects light to activate. So we're using our own body's light to activate our copper peptides, which then go in and reactivate our stem cells. So that to me is just gold. Once I heard that and it was said so simply, it's like I can get that now you can see where we were saying before about the age reversing, because we're actually activating all of our cells to get us our health and well-being back up again. So they're non-transdermal, no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants are used, and they're non-invasive, which means that patch goes onto your skin, but it doesn't go into your skin. It doesn't go into your body. It is reflecting, using the light to reflect back in. It has the nanocrystals and amino acids, sugars and salts. I actually got asked today whether they were vegan. And so, yes, because they're not actually going into, what that means is they don't affect any other medication you're on or anything that you're doing in your life. It's using your own body's awesomeness to grow. Okay, so the benefits of X39 are all of these things, which increase strength. For me, I was grandma. I felt I actually am a nan. And so I had to get up and down on the ground with my granddaughter. And I noticed every time I'd get up, I'd be like, trying to get up off the ground. And what I've noticed now is I can get up off the ground without grumbling. And when I realized that my granddaughter was grumbling, like making the noise whenever she'd get up, I thought, right, something's going to change. So this I have noticed that I can get up off the ground without making noises anymore. Reduced inflammation, that is moving for me now. I can feel I had quite sort of arthritic places in my hands and in my elbows, and they're just starting to actually not be as bad as what they had been. Increased stamina. I would be having a sleep every day. I was having a sleep before now, and now I don't even think about it. It's not a thing that if I choose to have a sleep, it's for some integration of something that I'm, an issue that I'm working on. Energy, vitality has been through the roof, and that I have heard by many, many people and myself, that was one of the first things that showed up in the energy and vitality. Mental clarity was also a really important part for me, to not have that brain fog. Either Arleen had it after operation, or I've had it with the perimenopause, or it's just aging in general. That mental clarity, if we don't have that, I heard a crazy, I can't even remember the exact statistics, but women, over 50 coming out of their jobs, not being able to do their jobs that they've done forever. And because of this brain and mental clarity. So being able to have that means you can continue life as normal. Restored muscle and skeletal conditions, improving sleep, improving skin appearance. I had a lot of rosacea around my nose, and I just could not get past it. I just couldn't find anything that was working for me, and that has all cleared up, and my skin feels I just feel a lot clearer. I don't know how else to describe that. So achieve optimum health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Who doesn't want that? This was a participant, a 77-year-old woman who got some mapping done, and she placed an X39 on the back of her neck. So you can see in that session 1 all that red, and that is actually inflammation in the brain. So what we want is the blue, as you can see it move across. We want that blue to be coming in. So session 1, no X39, inflammation on the brain, and hence probably why she's trying it. Lack of brain coherence. So session 2, she's 3 weeks on X39, and as you can see, no more inflammation. 3 weeks and no more inflammation. So that also improves brain coherence. And then moving on to session 3, 6 weeks on X39, and there's a complete turnaround. You can see that just basically they've mapped a lot of results, and they're getting them with all of the people. So brain coherence. It can be noted that she came in, her brain was hyperactive. Her brain calmed down dramatically at the second session after wearing X39 for 3 weeks. Her brain remained calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks. And I just love seeing all the different types of results. On whether you need it scientific, there's plenty for you to find on This Is It info in that website. So X39 long-term results. So yeah, This Is It info.com is a place to go. You can find all these information about all the things that you need to know. All the testimonials on there are incredible to go and have a look at. And yeah, you can always ask us. We've got a lot of other things that we can link you in with. So in the first few days, for the long-term results, in the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Like in the first few days. So that blew me away to know that, because we want our bodies to be working at our optimum, and instantly it starts to work. And so even if you can't literally see any or feel things that are happening, know this: 4,000 genes are beginning to reset. So that trust in the process. And a lot of people have like blood tests done when they first start, because then they can see what's happening, and 6 months later they might get another blood test. I'm too scared of needles, so that's not happening for me. So within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. And for me, that brain fog and that coherence space, for me, I've totally noticed that. And it was probably around week 5 for me that it really started to kick into go, oh, I'm feeling normal again. I feel like I can speak again. And within 3 months, which is where I'm looking to be, is your collagen is increased. And I also had not realized that collagen is like the glue for our whole bodies. I always thought collagen was about my skin only. And now I realize that it's a lot more, and it is the glue that keeps us together. It's our full body within our full body. So we want a lot of more our collagen to increase, which it does within 3 months. So within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. That to me is mind-blowing. And the more and more I look into this space, the more and more I keep hearing and seeing and finding out more results. It's a yes for me. So it's not an anti-aging, it's an age reversing, as David Schmidt says himself. So how do you wear these patches? What I love the most about it is just a patch, and I not say just in anything bad, in the way that you just put the patch on for 12 hours and take it off for 12 hours so that your body repairs and rejuvenates. To me, that is so simple. Sometimes there's some really big regimes with a lot of the health products out there. And this is just put the patch on, do the rest of your day, and take it off again at night time and let your body rejuvenate. Then you throw the patch away. Or before you throw it away, there's actually a little bit extra in the patches. So if you want to, you can share them with your family if you're feeling nice on that day. I give them to my son, and he's 21 and has some like ADHD issues, and he's actually gone and got a job. He actually gets out of the house. He hasn't quit his job yet, and he's been there for quite a few weeks now, like a month or something now. So that to me is kicking goals. So even though I'm wearing it for the 12 hours and then I give it to him, and he wears it overnight, there is still juice in there. So that is awesome to know too. And otherwise, you can share them with your pets, which we also have been doing. And that was, my dog was scratching her face off. She got really anxious, and she went into a bit of a chronic anxiousness, and she started scratching at herself, and her face was bleeding. And so by, what's she now, 7 weeks on the patches, and all her hair is growing back. She doesn't scratch anymore. She's able to cope in thunderstorms, which she never used to be able to cope in. And so that for me is a big tick as well. And you can also put them on your plants. Anything that's alive, pretty much. And you can wear more than one at a time. We are just talking about X39 today, but there are other patches that can work in unison with whatever you need. But yeah, talk to the people that invited you here, and they can share if you want to do that down the track. And it is so, so important to drink plenty of water, to use your electrolytes in whatever way that is. I use Celtic salt, or you can get the electrolytes, and start to really care for yourself. Like, think about your diet, think about exercise. If you're keeping healthy and keeping hydrated and eating what you need to eat, then you will see results. It will work a lot quicker. X39 is sophisticated yet simple to explain. This is what I love, how simple it is, but how potent it is. Testimonials of the X39 are life-changing and emotional. Yeah, I actually had a cry the other day because I was watching this lady, and it was just so beautiful because it was her daughter that was filming it, and the daughter was getting really emotional because she was seeing her mum with Alzheimer's, and she was able to walk around and speak and know their names, and it was really sweet because I too have had quite a few people with that. So the best thing about X39 is it absolutely works, and I am so happy to be a part of this, and so happy to be honoring myself enough to say yes to this for me too. So I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Danielle, for sharing all of that and did a really great job. Let's give her applause. That was her first one that she's ever done. So I'm very impressed. So I'm just going to take this little pause here because we're talking about testimonials, and I'll tell you a little bit about my story and how I got involved. I am in the healing industry and I have been for many years, but I was one of those people born with a wonky squonk body. So, I got into alternative complementary medicine a long time ago because it was the thing that really helped and worked. But, stress and these things, they do have an impact in life. And I was under a lot of stress for a while. I ended up with breast cancer, which I was working very, very well with naturally. But then we discovered in the exploration of that I actually had a tumor in my heart, and I had to have open heart surgery, followed 6 weeks later by double mastectomy because we couldn't risk it because heart surgery's hell of a whammer. It really knocks you for a six. And then we discovered in the process I had osteoporosis, and they very kindly offered me these ridiculous injections where they kind of inject like this plastic gunk into your bones, which only has a few side effects like, degeneration of your teeth and your jaw. I very politely declined all their future offers. Surgery was great, but that's where I stopped it. And I went back to natural health. So I was actively looking for two things because that whole episode cost me 5 months. It took 5 months to get through that before I could start working again. So I had a 5 month gap in my income. Thank God I belong to the community I do because they did a crowdfund for me and got me through. But I became very, very aware of two things. Number one, I needed to find some very different ways of working with bone regeneration because I didn't want to be breaking myself. As I go through life, I had broken my little toes about 3 times. So that was enough. So the idea of, working with that became very, very strong to me because I realized I had been doing a lot of things, taking supplements, dieting, running up and downstairs with tin cans, slowly working on weights. It takes a long time after those kind of surgeries to be able to work with weights because you're very weak, teacups for a long time, and that was it. So I was doing what I could, and I was able to keep the bone degeneration at the place it was. It didn't get any worse, but it wasn't getting any better. So two things came to me very strongly. I need a second income, and that can be active when I'm not active because my current job really requires that I get paid by the hour. So if I'm not working, there's no money. Um, and secondly, bone degeneration. This was really important that I find a way to remineralize my bones and build them back up. So I was actively on the hunt. And that's when a friend of mine who does life alignment as well, Merle Westcott, who's my upline, we were on one of our sort of monthly meetings. Every now and again, a group of us would meet together, would do a balance together. And she just mentioned, you were doing a little check-in, and she mentioned this word, oh, she's doing really well, and she's got this little sideline gig, Lifewave, and everything in me went, that. I don't know what that is, but I got something, my angels, whatever you want to call it, just sent this shockwave through me. And I thought, I've got to do this. So I sent a little message, not knowing at all what it was, and said, whatever that thing is that had the word life in it, we need to talk. And I very much do follow my instincts and my intuition. So it's one of the things, if I get a hit, I follow it. Um, so we had a little meeting and she sent me some information. I said, I don't know what it is, but I'm in because I've got such a strong feeling about it. So I'm one of those people who jumped in with both feet and made a decision it was going to be successful because I don't normally sign up to anything and I hate multi-level marketing from experiences, not from mine, but from partners in the past. But something just felt so right about this. So I jumped in with both legs. Um, my patches arrived and I started patching. And, at this stage, after all the stress, after I'd been exposed to some really horrific toxic stuff in my past and what else, I had fibromyalgia. I had bursitis in both my feet. I had bursitis in my shoulder. I was dealing with very painful scars post surgery. Not that you can actually see them anymore. Okay. Um, and exhaustion, all the stuff that comes with that. And it was this totally flabby week. Like it was really annoying. Very independent person, so being weak is just not an option for me. So I started patching, and the first thing I noticed was the bursitis disappeared. So within a few weeks, no bursitis in my shoulders, no bursitis in my feet. I could walk. I was walking 5, 6 kilometers. That was extremely painful before, so I got very excited about that. Then my energy level started to change, and I had energy, which was nice. Then over time, the fibromyalgia completely disappeared. I work with a naturopath who does dark field and dry blood analysis, and he runs everything on his little machines. He's an amazing guy. And suddenly my blood cells were like separating and they weren't coagulating anymore. They weren't like pancakes stacking. They were actually moving it. We could see the little somatides flying around. I'm like, oh my God, I can see somatides. That was terribly exciting. Um, I walked into his office and he just looked at me and went, what the hell? He said, 10 years has lifted off you. What's going on? And I started to talk about the patches to him and got very excited. So we could see the change in my blood. My liver and my gallbladder functions were suddenly normal again. I'd been struggling with them because of toxic stuff. And you're dealing with those chemicals they pump in your body with those surgeries. It's full on. So suddenly they were normal. So that was really exciting too, because I'd had an inflamed liver for a long time. Over time, the next thing that we noticed, well, actually, I didn't notice it because I'm one of these really natural people. I own a toothbrush and a hairbrush and a little bit of soap and shampoo. That's natural. That's my kit. I wear my hair long because it's the easiest thing to do. Then I don't have to go to the hairdresser every 2 weeks. Um, I was at a women's networking meeting, and one of the women sort of came up next to my face and she's like, your hair. And I'm like, yeah, and I used to be Snow White on the sides, and I'm not. Okay, so that happened quite quickly, actually, which is surprising. I've been growing my natural color out now. I've got it out mostly because it's so bloody hot, but this is my hair now. I have a lot of it. It's got really thick, um, and it's not Snow White. Okay, so that was the fastest group of signups I've ever had in my life. I didn't realize that my hair could become this advert. Very amusing. Um, the other thing she started commenting was my face because there's no wrinkles on the side. This all firmed up. This was very deep and that's pulling up. So that's my face at 57 after 2 surgeries and all the rest of it. So that was very amusing. So I had like 6 signups in 10 minutes flat because of my hair and my skin. So that was very, very funny. And I always laugh about it. But anyway, there's my face being on a cover of something so funny. But that's my beauty product. Then that whole thing around collagen, you have granny hands when you get to our age where they start to crinkle and crinkle. And if you squeeze your hand, you're left with a tent. Yeah. Not anymore, honey. I don't have granny hands. There's no age marks and the skin has totally changed. So I can go on and on. The latest thing, floaters in my eyes. I've only got one left. I had the beginning of cataracts. The last eye test showed zero cataracts. Okay. Then the other thing that happened in open heart surgery, they slice you down the middle and then they crank your chest open. It's very sweet. They have to do it, I know, but it does mean that you get incredible rib pain. And I had costochondritis. So as a result, it was extremely painful to touch my ribs. 2 weeks ago, I can prod myself on my ribs. So this is extremely exciting. So, there's photographs now of me getting very excited prodding my ribs because I can lean forward on a table without flinching in pain because the rib pain was excessive. All right. It was an 8, 9 out of 10. Touching my ribs lightly was all you could do. If you pressed, it was painful. That has gone. So there's a lot of things that have happened, as well as blood pressure stabilization, etc. So I'm one of those people that just have one of these lists like this. I just had a bone scan. I'm waiting for the results. I'm really excited. And from a point of view of strength, I can pick up 20-kilogram bags of rocks. My mum paints rocks. I now go in to the garden center. I used to have to get them to load the rocks in out and get a neighbor to put them in the house. Ah, okay. I've been traveling, lugging my bags everywhere. I can pick up the 20-kilogram bags of rocks. I'm gardening. My strength is back. It is phenomenal. Okay. So that's my personal story of my experience of the patches. Okay. So that's me. Does anybody else here want to share anything? I don't know if anybody else here has been patching. Alan, have you had any results? He just inherited a whole load of patches. Lucky
Not a
bugger.
great deal. I still patch the X39 during the day and the Aeon at night. And as you said, I've just inherited patches. This is all X39. I don't know how many is there, but they've already taken 60 out. This is
This is Alan. Alan's life is like that.
Yeah. And then this is the ice wave. And I got them for free.
That's Alan.
Yeah, so I've been sort of giving them out and sort of talking to people. And yeah, here's 1 month's worth.
Because you can.
Hello.
Fantastic. We can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, where's my video? Oh,
Oh,
there we're back again.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, so anybody in Brisbane want some patches? They're no good sitting here. You may as well get them out and advertise with them. Look
Yeah.
at Aeon. How many is there? Probably, no idea. 200, 250.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Didn't one of your ladies have an experience with the patches?
She had a brain operation
Yeah.
and someone put her on the patches and she said, oh, it was so painful. No, they didn't work. She has a disabled son. They put him on him. He was painful as well. But then, as you said, that's the detox phase.
That's a detox. So some people will go through a detox and you've just got to work through it. It's like in homeopathy and things like that, you get the peel back. So something comes up, it's been hidden, it's been suppressed, and then it's got to come to the surface and then it breaks through. Okay. So sometimes when people patching, some people are going to, I have started getting results fairly quickly. But I also was really making sure I was drinking. I was making sure I was on my electrolytes. I'm on a healthy diet. I'm exercising. I'm doing all the right things. Other people are not doing that. They're going to have a slow response. Okay. And also they will go through detox. Now, I have little tricks with energy medicine that I use that I can help with the detox. So some people, they get a slight thing like that and they pull back and say, oh, it's not working. You have to give it time, because what you're doing is you're literally renovating a house. When you go into a house and you renovate the house, some people, you're looking at the outside, you can't see what they're doing on the inside. Okay. So they're going to go into that house, you're going to scrape that bathroom down, you're going to knock that wall down, you've got to clean it up, you've got to take all that garbage and toss it out, and then you've got to paint it all again. And then finally the person gets to the front and then they build the garden. Okay. So unless you go in there, you're not going to see the results. So some people, if you looked at the blood test, if you looked at brain test, you'll see that there's a change. So you might not see it outside as quickly. I mean, it took over a year for my ribs, for the ribs to heal. There's just one area with my digestion, and that's beginning to heal. Okay. So the body's going to use its own innate wisdom and go for that area itself where it's most important. So if it's working on the liver, you might go through a detox, or you might temporarily have more pain. That's actually a good sign, not a bad sign. So if that happens to you, stick with it and keep going. Other people will go, well, I can't really feel anything. That's okay. It's happening. It's just working deep. It is stem cells. It is rebuilding cell by cell. Give it a chance. Your body was made in 9 months in the womb. Okay, give it a chance. So it's really about sticking through it. And if you keep sticking through it over time, you will notice the difference. Okay, we have amazing stories of people with polymyalgia. It took that woman over 10 months before she noticed the change, but she just stuck with it because she knew how it works. And suddenly one day she woke up and she was like, bloody hell, like me with my ribs. Suddenly one day, there it was. Okay. So thank you, Alan. I'm going to go back into the sharing, and we're going to just look at the business side very briefly. Okay. Because there is a business side. And like I said to you, I got into this for 2 reasons: the health and healing, as well as the business aspect. Okay. So this is a very important website. This is at info.com. If you want more information, if you want to, there's some really good videos there that will go through a whole lot of information for you. You can find the research papers on there, the patents on there. There's testimonies and all sorts of other information. So there's a lot of really good information on that website. Okay. Now, the company itself, in order to work with a company, you really want a company that's solid. And this is a 20-year-old company. It's gone through ups and downs. They've had to, like all things, when you're going through life, you're going to have your teenage years, you're going to have your toddler years. Well, this company has gone through that, and it stood the test of time, which is a very important thing. I also really love the morals and the standards and the ethics behind it. I love their care and the sensitivity. I've actually been lucky enough to meet the president of the company, Meryl, and she was amazing. I sat down, she was happy to talk to me, and at that stage, I didn't have the rank I have now. And I sat down and had a long conversation with her about the company, about where it's going. And the wonderful thing is, she shared with me the vision. This company has a long-term vision. They've still got a whole list of other products. They are working forward with a forward vision, not a backward. So they're not just sitting on their laurels and going, oh, we got success. Now, in this company took a long time to build, but then in 2021, it was doing a 20 million turnover, and that's when X39 really, really came to market and kicked in. By 2022, it was doing 320 million. So that's the impact of bringing stem cells onto the market. In 2023, it went to 430 million. Currently, this year, it's done 600 million. They're expecting $1 billion, and they're preparing to be able to market to 3 or more billion. So they're already going forward with that and prepping. It says open in 75 countries. That's actually gone to 80 now. The important thing is it is not a Me Too product. So a lot of your MLM companies, they all deal with weight loss, they all deal with skin care, they all deal with supplements, and you can get those products in very similar formats, one to the other. So there's a lot of competition there. We're dealing with a patented technology. All our products are patented. You cannot get them anywhere else. They are one only. So it really does give us a heads up as far as marketing going. Lifewave is also the #1 ranked growth home business multi-level marketing company in the world now. And you can find this information on businessforhome.org. And I was watching a video last night. And they're just about to release these stats again. We've done it again for the second year. We're again the #1 ranking company. People get into this for many reasons. Like I said, I got into this for health and also for finances. So it's really about looking what is important to you. Is it family? Is it having more time, freedom, security, travel, better health, or less debt? For me, it is about family. I've been able to spend more time with my family. I'm not spending as much time in actually building this business as I thought I would, which is kind of handy because I am very, very passionate about my other company and working with Life Alignment, and that'll always be a very big passion in my life. So being able to build something on the side that is doing actually currently better than my main income is quite amazing. I have been able to travel. I do feel a lot more secure. My health has improved, and I do have less debt than when I started. So being a company where you can earn money, there are many ways to enter this company and to get the product, which I'll talk about soon. But from a point of view is how do you get paid if you come into this as a brand partner? There are a number of ways of getting paid. If somebody wants to just buy product from you as retail, you get a retail payment. You can have preferred clients that just buy from your website every month and you get a payment for that. But you can also get paid by introducing people. So you introduce someone, we only build 2 legs. We have a left leg and a right leg. And as soon as you've got 2 people on your one person on your left and one person on your right, these binary commissions start coming into place. So every time somebody buys a product, there's a number attached to that product, like 77 points or something like that. And when you've got 330 points on your one leg and 660 points on your other leg, you get paid $50. That's called a binary payment or a cycle bonus. And the more that happens, the more it grows, right? So you're simply building a team on your left and a team on your right, and you get support in building this. You're not working on your own. It's the key thing I love in Lifewave. We work as a team. Now, the earnings is at a binary level. Before you hit manager, you can earn up to $100 a week on the binary. As soon as you hit manager, which is 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right that are active meaning they're buying product once a month, then you can earn up to $1,500 a week from the binary, and then that goes all the way up to $25,000 a week. And yes, there are people that I personally know that are maxing out at $25,000 a week every Monday morning. So that's another way of earning. But then there's also matching bonus, and this is never ever capped. So Danielle is on my first level. Every time she earns a cycle bonus, I get paid 25% matching bonus, not from her money. The company pays because we get paid to work as a team, and I'm doing calls like this. I'm supporting my team members. So the company pays me as my team members earn. So anybody who I've signed up personally is my first level. And then I get $12.50 every time they earn $50. Once I've got a certain amount or like 6 cycles, then my second level opens up, and people that Danielle signs up, they will be seen as my second level. So every time they earn $50, I get $10. And then there's a third level that opens up, and every time those people earn, I get another $10. And over time, this is actually where people make their most money, the top earners, because it's not capped and you can earn 3 levels deep. It's actually huge. So that's how you earn, and there's whole videos on the websites that can show you that. How do you start up? There's multiple ways of starting up. You can actually simply start up at $25 if you're really struggling. You can start at $25 that just buys you in, and you can simply buy a sleeve of whatever you want. It'll get you going. Then there are other levels. The core level. Here, your $25 is included plus an extra $5, so you already saving $30 by going in at the core. You get 3 sleeves of X39 for $295, and That's a good way of starting. You can also mix and match because one sleeve of X39 equals two sleeves of the other products. So you can mix and match at this level. You could get two sleeves of X39 and two sleeves of Aeon, or one sleeve of X39 and four sleeves of the others. So there's ways and means of personalizing your orders. I went in at advance because I knew I was going in full on as a business. So I mixed and matched. I bought 3 sleeves of X39 and eight sleeves of the others for $535. So you're already saving about $75 here. So each time as you go up, you're saving more. And that's 6 sleeves. Premium is for the serious builders. I've had a few people in my company underneath me who did start at premium because they wanted to patch. They were running businesses. They wanted to have stock on hand to be able to sell in their clinics. And they went in at premium, which is 1,750, but you're getting 20 sleeves, or you can mix and match. And instead of the sleeves being $99 each, they're $87.50 if you're buying in at that. You also stay active for 3 months. So it means you don't have to buy a product for 3 months to stay active. You earn points by staying active. That staying active is important. So some people choose to do the monthly subscription of either 1 sleeve or 2 sleeves. You never have to order more than that in a month to stay active. You don't even have to stay active unless you want to be running this as a business. So it is the cheapest way of buying sleeves is by being a brand partner, but you do not have to stay active unless you want to stay active. There's a lot of freedom within this, but if you want to earn from the binary, you do stay active, and it's all you need is 1 sleeve in the beginning per month, which is not a lot because you're going to use that yourself. You never have to keep stock unless you want to. I never keep stock for other people. People buy directly under me rather than me having to deal with postage, packaging, and all of that. I don't have time for that. At manager level, you need 2 sleeves, and that doesn't have to be 2 sleeves of X39. It can be 1 sleeve of X39, 1 sleeve of something else. It adds to 110 points, which I use any month. So basically, staying active means just looking after yourself. Okay. To sign up, just chat to the person who introduced you to the call, because they'll be able to show you how to do it. So just 2 very interesting websites. This is an info website I already spoke about. This is where you've got all the basic information about the patches, the different types, the patents, the studies, the testimonials. This is at team.com. This is a website for those who want to actually go into it for a business. It shows you absolutely everything about how to run the business, which is not hard to do. It's actually very easy, or I wouldn't be doing it. It shows you how to fill in forms, how to switch legs, how you earn your money, how you get paid, all of that kind of stuff. It's all there. So the wonderful thing about being part of this is a team. It's the top growing team in the world. It is the top performing team actually in the world. And because of that, we have these amazing websites available to us. We're very, very supported. I do love the teamwork. So now is your time to make your move. It really depends why you came onto this call, either because of health, or you're just curious, or you want to actually run this as a business, or you're looking for a bit of both. Just contact the person who introduced you, and they will help you take the next steps. So I'm just going to stop the recording there. So thank you very much, and we'll go into questions.